38 male, for cutting back on work to prove a point to my wife, 30 female. My wife is usually an angel of a woman, but has recently gotten into a friendship with a woman whom I personally believe is a bad influence on her. Not in a patronizing way, more of a lay down with dogs, get up with fleas type of situation. I've never
heard that before, but continue.
I like it.
Me neither. I've never heard
said
that.
anything about her childishness or her very radical misandry because frankly it doesn't affect me until it did. A few months ago, my wife began pressuring me to do more around the house. Before I get an instant we already split chores and childcare. Admittedly, she had a bigger cut than I because she is a stay-at-home mom, but I do most of the cooking. Breakfast and dinners, lunch is her responsibility for her and the boys. I take out the garbage and I do laundry, and I deep clean the bathrooms once a week. I do also help with our boys' homework and such.
I'll marry this man right now.
The bar is low, but like he's doing a lot.
The bar is 6 feet under, but it's pretty good right now.
She insists that I am not doing enough and that I should be doing more
What is going
around
on
the house. I tried having discussions with her, asking what she expected from me, namely all chores and child rearing should be my duty, it seems, and for months it seemed to be going nowhere. She used the D word more than once when speaking on this,
Why is my video buffed?
which felt manipulative.
What's the D word?
Divorce.
I was like, Dad.
She threatened him with divorce. At that point, I would have handed her the paper. Dragon Slayer commentary says, I hate to admit it, but it's true. In Cancun, the Latino men are the most machista people you can ever meet. They make the red pillars look like kids with how they view women as objects made only for their pleas. I'm not saying all Latino men are like that, but I have a fair amount in Cancun. They're only going there for pleasure if they're by themselves. Okay, he says, don't forget to play that video. Okay, yeah, we'll get to that one next. All right. Yeah, well, I there you go. I learned something new every day, Dragon Slayer. Okay.
It boiled over when we were out with friends one night, and she began talking about how I never help out and how I use her as a house slave. Her words. I will admit, I saw red. The next part is where I may be the I didn't say anything that night, but the next day I asked my boss to be given reduced hours for the next little bit due to stress, and I took over everything in the house. I cooked breakfast and made lunch for the boys before I drove them to school. I cleaned the house top to bottom. I did every dish we had twice, and so on. My wife was blindingly happy and bragged to her friend that she had finally worn in. She didn't lift a finger for around a month. Then she began asking why we never went on dates anymore and complaining that she wanted to get her nails done as they were growing in.
Will never satisfy them. This is why you never concede. This is kind of like what we tell, people never apologize to the woke mob. You never concede to the woman because you will never satisfy her. Never.
Explained that I had to take that out of our budget so we could continue to afford everything else, but we could absolutely have a movie night in and I could paint her nails for her. She was unhappy with that solution. So I asked her if she would want to get a part-time job to pay for her luxuries. You would have thought I asked if she wanted to join a cult. She then asked if I could just go pick up more shifts at work to cover her other expenses and used the phrase, be a man, which I found more than a little insulting. I then asked if she would be willing to go back to splitting the—
She told him to be a man. Is this camera on me? Use your common sense, motherfucker. Use your common sense. You can't satisfy them, but he knows that. This dude is red pilled or something.
The chores and such, which is when she began to catch on that the two were related. She yelled at me that I was being a manipulative in this and even claimed it was financial abuse. I stood strong for a while, but now I'm questioning my methods because even I feel what I did was a little bit underhanded.
As in, he stopped making as much money to do the chores.
Am I the—
Wow! It's gray.
It's gray. No. I'll tell you what he should have did, though. He should have just filed for divorce. I would have just filed for divorce. This is why you got to be careful with whom your woman is friends with. Because if her friends, like, women are very impressionable. They follow the crowd. You could be married to a completely happy woman who is completely satisfied with you. She loves you, respects you, and everything you do. And then one wrong friend will come in and tell her, girl, don't you want to have much of this? Don't you want to have a little bit of that? And then she'll start thinking, you know what? You're right. And your whole marriage is going to shit. Your whole marriage is going to shit over one friend who came in and said, girl, he should be flipping a couple of more eggs a day. You got to really educate your woman on why certain friends, and women are very emotional creatures. But is he the asshole for this? I don't think so. He could have just hit, because I would have just hit the divorce button. Regicide says women are like light bulbs. You can screw them until they pop and still never turn them on. I've never heard that either. Dragon Slayer commentary says, correction, and never concede 100% to anyone in your life. As for women, if the red flags of a manipulative woman show up, bounce right away. You'll find one who will appreciate you eventually and actually compromise like a normal human being in any stable relationship. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you on that one, sir. I think in that statement you just made, you kind of contradicted yourself a little bit because you said never concede, but then you also said you'll actually compromise like a normal human being. Wouldn't, I mean, and maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Wouldn't compromise mean conceding to something? I think relationships are about compromise. So in a relationship with a woman, we're both, compromising some things that we would like. And like me, I would love to just go around. Like there's a song by Lil Wayne and Young Money that says, I wish I could fuck every girl in the world. I would love to do that. But if I'm in a relationship, I'm pretty much saying I'm only with you. So that's compromise amongst other things. So when it comes to, when I say don't concede, when your woman starts asking you for these unreasonable things, if you're making all the money, I guess you're saying don't concede 100%. That's what, okay. And he just said it. I said don't concede 100% in anything in life, and you will have to concede something, but never 100%. Yeah, okay. So you got me. You got me this time. Next time, though, I'm going to be more prepared. And Reed, whose side are you on, bro? Like, whose side are you on? Like, I'm just playing. But yeah, though. So listen, dog. If you in a marriage, first of all, you need to set the standards from the jump. You do need to set your standards from the jump. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Women are fully capable of making their own decisions and doing their own things. But I'm gonna keep it a being with you. Part of protecting your woman is protecting her from herself, including her friends. What did we just get finished talking about on the girls' trips? Women don't think about that danger on a girls' trip. They only thinking about them cheating. No. If you on a girls' trip and some dude down there decides to put his hands on you because you tried to talk to him, because he tried to talk to you and you were like, nah, I got a man at home, and he go, you know what? Because just like y'all said, they down there and they view women as objects, right? Just like you just said, Dragon Slayer. So if he decide, you know what? I'm gonna backhand you. If I was there, I could defend you. Oh, my bad. Hitting the mic. If I was there, I could defend you. But because I'm not there with you on this girls' trip, I can't protect you. So now I'm on the phone, heated. I'm thousands of miles away from my woman. She on the phone crying because some dude in the club just backhand her in Cancun, and I can't do nothing about it because I'm the idiot who let my girl go on a girls trip with all her single friends. And the reason she got slapped is because her single friends put her in a single situation where she had no business being, and she tried to get out of that single situation. And the man who was there decided to be, I guess, aggressive and be misogynistic and just backhand her for rejecting him. And I can't do nothing. At that point, your life is in danger because you didn't listen to me and decided to go on a girls' trip anyway. As bad as I feel about you getting backhanded, I'm breaking up with you when you get back. What? You gonna break up with me because a man put his hands on me? Yes, I'm breaking up with you because I can't protect you. I can't. I told you not to do something. You did it anyway. And look what happened. And now I gotta explain to your parents why you down in Cancun by yourself getting bitch slapped by some random man. I'm breaking up with you. You gotta be able to protect women from themselves sometimes. And this woman needed to be protected from this bad friend. This is why y'all think men be overprotective. Some men do be overprotective. Some men do be controlling. But if I tell you, I'm gonna tell you one time, if I'm dating you, hey, yo, I don't like your friends, bro. Like, I think your friends are very whorish. If she like you, she gonna be like, you know what? You're right. And what I've noticed about women who are not hoes per se, women who are not hoes do not like to put themselves in hoe situations. So that's why they say, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Dragon Slayer says a good woman won't isolate their man from their friend, just bad ones. However, the man needs to do the same for her friends and be strong enough to endure the hellfire of nagging until she calms down and actually starts listening to reason. But here's the thing. What do you do in a situation where they don't? Like women constantly talk about communication, but they go back to their friends and tell them every little detail about your relationship, and the friend is giving them bad advice. So while you're waiting on her to calm down and listen to reason, she might not ever do it because her friends are in her ear yapping about how he should be doing. I mean, this man in this particular example is paying all of the bills and he's helping out at home. That's much more than a lot of men would be doing. And she still felt like he should be doing more. Where's the reason? He tried to communicate with her. He changed the situation to better accommodate her, and she still asked for more and more and more and more and more. What are you supposed to do? That's why I said, bro, at this point, you better hit the divorce button before she do. In my experience, Dragon Slayer says, in my experience, I just let a woman fueled by too much emotional juice, just let it all out while ignoring it. And then after they calm down, I actually get to the point. Oh, I agree with that. If you're talking about in that argument, oh, absolutely, I agree with that. I'm gonna let you get everything off your chest. You good? All right. So this is what the problem is, and this is how we're gonna fix it. Nothing makes a person stop arguing with you faster than ignoring them, even if they're yelling at your face. Depends on what kind of woman you with. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, if you were a sister, she might pick up something to hit you with it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Dragon Slayer talking about TBRI, trauma-based reaction intervention. And Dragon Slayer says sometimes you just have to turn on your I don't give a shit immunity shield and carry on. Surprisingly, people are more receptive when they realize that they just went off like an idiot. Oh yeah, I agree with that. Because I'm big on ignoring people. So let's get to this